Walk us through what is going to be the likely impact on many of these nations, which tend to be lower income and poorer nations to begin with. How much of a toll are these higher tariff rates going to have on these economies?
Yes, it was alarming to see the sharp increase in the tariffs that the U.S. has imposed. You're right to say Lesotho, which is a small mountain kingdom, one of the poorest countries on the continent, has been slapped with a tariff of 50%. It appears as though the Trump administration gave the highest tariffs to countries that run trade surpluses with the United States. So basically, they export more to the U.S. than they import. And what's unfortunate is that a lot of these countries that are in this position are there because of policies advised by the U.S. administration. Lesotho, for instance, and Mauritius, which was slapped with a 40% tariff, export apparel to the United States, and that's under a duty-free access trade agreement they had with the U.S., which was the administration's way of trying to help these countries develop. Now it seems they're being penalized for doing so well on the export front.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it seems as though the Trump administration wants to come up with deals with various trading partners. What are the kind of deals that these nations can push for? Because they don't actually have a lot of bargaining power or economic leverage to begin with. So how are they planning on dealing with this?
That's a good question. So I can speak for bigger economies like South Africa, which will be impacted in terms of its automotive products as well as the agriculture industry. They're already talking about a delegation led by the trade minister that will be going to the United States to try and engage the U.S. administration to make concessions. In the case of South Africa, in terms of what they can bargain, as you're probably aware, Elon Musk is seeking to get his company Starlink to operate in the country. That's probably something they could consider. But for small countries, like you mentioned, like Lesotho, there's very little they can do. They can't suddenly push up their demands to erase that trade balance because consumption or purchasing power is very low in that country. It's a poor country, as I mentioned. So for small countries like Lesotho, we are concerned in terms of what it means for them going forward. It does imply that exports will fall substantially. Keep in mind, exports account for 10% of GDP. So that will be a significant hit to the country's income as well as to its currency. Yeah. And if foreign exchange inflows slow down, we are concerned about them meeting their foreign obligations.